Grossman, and I am the lead pre-K teacher here at Tender Times.
And my name is Elizabeth Shosker. I'm the lead preschool teacher at Tender Times in Delphos.
I went to St. John's and graduated in 2011.
And I went to Jefferson and graduated in 2012.
While I was in high school, I always knew I wanted to work with kids some way, somehow. So I decided to go to Bluffton University, and I majored in early childhood education.
And while I was in high school at Jefferson, I knew I wanted to work with kids some way. So when I graduated, I thought I wanted to go into pediatrics. And then my heart, you always have to follow your heart. I was like, I need to be a teacher. That's what I've always wanted to do. But my parents were like, go to the medical field, go to the medical field. So went to Miami University, and after my first semester, I switched to education instead of pre-med.
After college, I planned on getting a job in the public school system, but my path sort of went a different way, and I ended up getting a job here as a lead pre-K teacher, and I've been the pre-K teacher here this is my second year now.
Yeah, and I just graduated last spring, so this is my first year teaching, and I absolutely love it.
It's great. We love our jobs. You have to love children to be able to do something like this every day.
Yeah, because it's not always just fun and games. It's not rainbow and sunshine every day. There's tough days, but all the good days make it all worthwhile.
Yes. A typical day for us in the preschool, I come at 7 and then I work till around 3 usually.
And I come at 7:30, and I usually stay till 4. But I'm constantly getting stuff prepared. You always have to be prepared for the next day. You just can't go into school with no plan at all. So
yes, we write weekly lesson plans to match a theme along with the standards for preschool.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a snack in the morning, and then from there we get our day. Preschool is 8 to 11. I start with calendar time and the weather, and then from there we talk about our letter of the week, our number of the week, and we do centers that all go around our letters and our numbers and sensory tables and a lot of hands-on activities.
Yeah, and our schedules are pretty much the same, but I have 3 and 4-year-olds, so this is their pretty much first experiences in the classroom, so I have to make sure, and every day has to make sure that they are having fun and doing hands-on stuff. You can't sit a 3-year-old down and expect them to do pencil and paper work, so everything is hands-on, like trying to teach them how to cut. That is like one of the biggest things we work on, and like just those first essential skills that you gain and you don't even remember learning yourself. And it's a lot of fun, but it's also a lot of work.
Yes.
But you gotta make sure it's fun for them.
This is their first experience in a school setting. You want them to like it, enjoy it, and get them prepared for kindergarten so they go into kindergarten loving school and ready to go.
Advice I would give to kids in high school or even middle school, because you start thinking about that stuff so young. Don't listen to what everybody else tells you to do. You're your own person. You know what you want to do in your life. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about money, because money doesn't buy happiness. You do what you know is going to make you happy.
Go with your heart.
Mm-hmm. You can't have everybody else running your life. So if your parents are wanting you to do this, but you're like, well, this is what I wanted to be since first grade when we made those books in first grade. I want to be a teacher.
Yes.
You do what you know you want to do, because in the long run, it will make you much more happy.
Get out there, get involved. If you think you might want to do something like this, ask teachers if you can go in their room and observe or help out during a study hall. Anything and everything you can do, do it. Don't hold back.
Yeah, don't let other people run your life.
Yeah.
And I became an aunt when I was 9 years old, so I've been around children my whole life, and I'm just like, love children so much, and I always knew I loved children, but then my parents were like, you need to work in medicine, so I was like, okay, pediatrics, I'll do it. And then I went to college, and I stepped in my first college classroom of over 300 people, and I only graduated with 60 kids, and I was like, well, this is a lot different than Delphos, so just push yourself, but do what you're comfortable with. Do what you know you want to do in life. If you become a teacher, no matter if you're in college going through field experiences, or if you're in high school going and observing a classroom, working with the teachers, you're always going to do co-teaching, which is working with other people.
Another teacher or an aide or the intervention specialist. Someone's always in your room with you.
There's constantly staff members you have to talk to. If there's a situation go down, you have to go straight to that person. And you always have to be professional.
Yes.
Make sure you're able to communicate. Communication is one of the biggest things in teaching.
Yes.
because you're not just a teacher, you're like 1,000 different jobs, so.
All in one. Liz is the preschool teacher, I'm the pre-K teacher, but we're constantly, every week, hey, what are you doing next week for this theme? Do you have any ideas what I can do?
Can I borrow that? Oh,
Do you
that's a
have
great
this?
idea. Let me
Yeah.
do that.
Constantly, all the time.
Hi, my name is Marty Bott. I am an infant teacher at Tender Times Child Development Center. I have been in this job about 15 years, I think, and it is something that you have to love. Infants are extremely rewarding, but it is a very busy day from the time you get there in the morning until the time you leave in the afternoon. I love watching them learn and grow. That the infant room is from 6 weeks to 18 months, and there's so much growth and development in those years. And
I agree with Marnie. I'm Becky, and I teach the toddler class, the kids that come right after Marnie's class and the babies. And I think that you have to love the kids, and you have to love working with them. What you need to understand is, if you babysit and you love kids because you babysit one-on-one, working with them in a group setting where you're working with ratio kids to teacher is altogether different, wouldn't you say, Marnie? I think the basic thing is that you would need to think about getting out there, volunteering at some level at a local daycare center, putting in some hours in a real-time setting so you can get a feel for what it's like, because it is work. It's not like puppies and kitties are so cute and little babies are so cute. They take a tremendous amount of work and a lot of effort, even though it's very rewarding and enjoyable and fun. There are moments where, you know, you really have a lot of stress coming at you, and a lot of hard work needs to be done, and you have to keep up with them because every day is different.
there's not a typical day in the infant room. It's a very busy day, but it's very rewarding.
I agree,
because
there's
they-
no typical day
Yeah.
at all. A typical day in the toddler room is you come with a plan and you expect the plan to change because it always will. Every day you have to come in and get a feel for the atmosphere, the mood the kids are in. And while it's important to be organized and have a plan and be ready for them, you also have to be flexible with your material and be able to think quick, think on your feet, and take advantage of every teachable moment that might arise, to recognize that teachable moment with the kids and jump on that and try to stretch that out and make it a moment that they've learned something from that particular incident or action that took place. We help each other, we share what we have from room to room. If somebody runs out of something, all you have to do is ask, and if one of the other teachers has it, they're like, sure, we've got a box here, so you don't have to leave the room to go get it. Being concerned, because when the kids come to me after Marnie, they have loved these kids since birth and taken care of them. So when they hear them crying in my room, they're naturally concerned with what's happening. So, you know, it's only kind to let them know, hey, everything's okay over here. There was just a little incident. So I think we got a good team here. Work together well.
Somebody who can pick up the slack for the rest of the employees when others need, somebody's out for a certain reason, or somebody needs something, that somebody that can pick up the slack, and an administrator also who is hands-on, which is what we have here. She's not always in her office all the time. She's always accessible and very hands-on, and whatever we need, yes. I'd like to see for us to be able to be taken more serious, in the working world.
I wrote my college paper on the very subject of daycare and daycare workers and the appreciation of it, because we find that it's not ever looked on as much more than just simply babysitting, when indeed, it's a business of trust. Parents are completely entrusting their most precious possessions to the teachers and the staff here at Tender Times or any other child care facility they go to. If you get into that field, you need to know that most of your reward is just going to be from watching your hands affect and influence and speak into the lives of children, because it really doesn't pay that well. It's not that lucrative, but other than that, we do it for the reward of working with kids, and you have to be willing to take that until those things change, until someone lobbies for that at a level that'll change that.
Hi, I'm Lexi Cook, and I'm a full-time student at Rhodes State College in Lima, and I work here at Tender Times full-time. I graduated in 2013 from Delphos Jefferson High School, and currently I am the infant and toddler teacher here, and I also do my hours here for college. You have to have about 37 hours a semester for student teaching. I knew I wanted to be a teacher since probably freshman year of high school. I would always use my study halls to go down all 4 years to service learn at Franklin Elementary School, and if I wasn't there, I was always in the NH classroom too at school, and I love helping. It's fun, and it was a learning experience for me for the real world. I'm starting out as an infant teacher right now, taking care of the babies. Every 2 to 3 hours, they get diaper changes and bottles, and then I move up to the toddlers. So I also am in the infant room and the toddler room, depending on the day, and I will go from work to college, and I will come back to work because since I'm full-time, I have to get my 8 hours a day while still doing my college work. And in between that time, I still have to do my hours, and it does get a bit crazy, but at the same time, it's so worth it. It's such a rewarding feeling knowing that you're helping the kids learn, and that they just love you and you love them, you get attached. And I'm going to be trained soon to be in the preschool and the pre-K rooms. So my goal is to eventually be down in the pre-K room or preschool room as a head teacher. So I graduate by December of 2017 with my associates, and I'm going on for my master's. So I still have a while, I still have a road ahead of me before I can start anything further, but my main goal is to become a teacher at Jefferson or something, K through 3. That is my main goal. I will always work in childcare. I have been in love with my job ever since I started. I love this job. I think I will always work in this job. It's such a rewarding feeling helping children every day learn and grow and watch them develop into who they're going to be.
Hi, I'm Christy Rohde. I'm the administrator at Tender Times here in Delphos. I am an Elida High School graduate. I have a degree in early childhood education. I have worked in this field for 25 years, starting in college at a daycare in Lima, which I worked for 5 years there. I then went to the Head Start program where I was there for almost 10 years. Then I've also been in sub for Vantage Career Center in early childhood education, and I've also been an observation specialist for people getting their CDA in early childhood education. I have been here for 2 years. We are a full year center. We're open January through December. We are open 5:45 a.m. to 5:45 p.m. We have 50 children currently enrolled with us, and I have 14 employees, all which have degrees of some sort in early childhood education, whether it be a CDA, a master's, or a bachelor's. We love our center here. We love the kids and the families that are here. This job has been very rewarding. As an administrator here, my day usually starts between 5:30 and 6 a.m. I arrive at the center. I have a girl that opens, and then I have another one that comes in at 6. I am usually here to greet the parents every day when they come in, talk to them if there's any concerns that they have, talk to the kids, and then from then I see where I'm needed. If I'm needed in a classroom for a couple hours, I go there. Otherwise, there's always paperwork to get done. I have to make sure that every classroom is within ratio. We are licensed by ODJFS, so I have to make sure every ratio is met, all the requirements that they have are met in each classroom every day. From there, it's usually talking to the staff, planning schedules, doing themes for the month, calendars, newsletters, answering emails. There's many times that I will come back in the evening to give tours to families, because obviously they cannot be here during the day because they're working if they need childcare. I will come back, I do their tours, enroll new children, promote the daycare in any way that we can. That is usually a typical day for me. However, some days are not so typical. There's days that you have a staff that has to leave due to an emergency, somebody else is called in sick, so I'm constantly trying to make sure everything flows as smoothly as possible. Transitions are easy for the kids, staff are all taken care of. So that is a typical day for me. It's not sitting in the office on the computer. I am constantly in classrooms with the kids, with the staff, working with them one-on-one. My position as an administrator, you have to be organized. That's the biggest one. You have to know the licensing rules. That's a major thing that you have to keep yourself familiarized with all the time, as they are constantly changing. As for staff, when I hire staff, I look for somebody that's fun and energetic and ready to work with kids. They need to be responsible. They need to be on time. They need to look professional as far as their dress and their hair. They need to be quick thinking, because things in this center, you can have a well-planned day and a well-planned lesson plan, and in a matter of seconds, it is out the window and you have to think of something new. Sometimes the kids just aren't into it, so you need to cut that and go to something else. Babies, we always have somebody will get sick, somebody will have a dirty diaper that's very messy. There's a lot of things going on all the time. A lot of people think that we just sit in here and play with kids and rock babies. This job is very busy. Right now in here, we do not have a lot of technology. We do have some Kindles that we're trying to work with the kids on that. We are very hands-on here. We don't do a lot of papers. We don't do a lot of dittos. A lot of the things that the teachers do in here are hands-on learning. What I like most about my job is the families and the children. I have grown especially close to all the families here in the last 2 years. And actually from my first daycare job 25 years ago, I still keep in touch with those families and their kids. So it's a very rewarding job. It makes you feel good about yourself. You know that you're doing something to help the children in the community. These kids are here with us more than they are at home with their families. So it's our job to teach them, for them to grow. And a training at one time this past fall, we were told that our job is very important because we're growing and developing brains. And not everybody can say that they're growing a brain. So a lot of what we do, we reap the rewards as we see them develop, as they grow. Just talking to the parents and getting to know these families has been wonderful.